The roar of the Etihad explodes across the screen as the camera cuts between flashing blue lights, chanting fans, and a slow-motion shot of Sunderland players walking onto the pitch with a quiet, determined focus. The music builds tension. A sudden montage shows old highlights, Yaya Tour's long-range rockets. Sunderland's shock 1-0 wins from the early 2010s, and the kind of moments that remind fans why football is never predictable. Over this, your voice cuts through. One team is a global powerhouse, built on precision and perfection. The other carries the raw hunger of an underdog with nothing to lose. And yet every time Manchester City face Sunderland, something unexpected always seems to happen. The tempo spikes. The visuals sync with fast cuts of goals, crowd reactions, and dramatic commentary lines.
Then you deliver the hook.
Is this just another routine win for Manchester City? Or are we about to witness another twist no one saw coming? As the question hangs in the air, the screen fades into the intro sequence. Now the tone shifts slightly, becoming more measured, but still filled with narrative energy. You explain that this matchup isn't just a game, it's a clash of football cultures, expectations, and histories. Manchester City arrive with a system built on control, suffocating possession, and players who can break open a match in seconds. Sunderland step in as a club rebuilding its identity, backed by a fiercely loyal fan base that has stayed with them through promotions, relegations, and everything in between. You highlight why this particular meeting matters, whether it's City's chase for the top, Sunderland's fight for momentum, or the emotional value of a classic underdog challenge. Without stopping, you guide the viewer into what the video will unpack. The current form of both teams, the tactical storylines that could shape the outcome, the key players who might swing the match, and the historical moments that make this fixture so intriguing. As the music settles into a steady rhythm, you transition with a clear invitation to the audience. Let us break down everything that makes this match far more unpredictable than it looks. When you look at the recent form of both teams, the contrast is impossible to ignore. Manchester City come into this clash with the kind of confidence only a team used to winning can possess. Every match feels like a continuation of a larger machine, a system built on rhythm, precision passing, and a collective understanding that makes them dangerous no matter who is on the pitch. The way they recycle possession, dominate midfield, and create chance after chance has become almost expected, but that's what makes them so unpredictable. You never know who will be the one to take over the game. Haaland might explode with a hat-trick. De Bruyne could produce a masterclass in creativity, or even someone like Foden might drift inside and dismantle a defense almost casually. Sunderland, on the other hand, arrive with a completely different kind of momentum, one built on hunger, belief, and resilience. Their recent championship form might not mirror City's dominance, but what it does show is a team that refuses to back down. Sunderland's strength lies in their energy, their transitions, and the fighting spirit that has carried them through countless tough fixtures. They don't need the ball for long stretches, they just need moments. Small windows where a quick counterattack or a defensive mistake from City can turn into something big. And football has shown us many times that it only takes one moment. The matchup becomes fascinating because momentum doesn't always come from winning streaks. Sometimes it comes from purpose. City step in expecting to control everything. Sunderland step in with nothing to lose. And when that dynamic exists, the possibilities become far more interesting than the table suggests. To understand how this match might unfold, you have to look at the tactical chess game beneath the surface. Manchester City's approach under Pep Guardiola is no secret, yet it remains one of the hardest systems in the world to stop. Expect to see inverted fullbacks stepping into midfield, creating overloads and giving City near total control of the ball. Their center-backs push high, their wingers stay wide to stretch the defensive line. And De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva drift into half spaces where they can exploit even the smallest pocket of freedom. It's not just about possession, it's about positioning, precision, and patience. City will probe, recycle, and shift the play until they find the exact angle they need. But Sunderland have no reason to try and mimic that. In fact, their best hope lies in embracing the opposite structure. They'll stay compact, sit in a low block, and allow City to have the ball in harmless areas. Their defensive lines will stay tight, forcing City to operate through crowded spaces. The goal is to frustrate, disrupt the rhythm, and wait for turnovers because that's where Sunderland's real opportunity lies. With quick transitions and direct play, they can attack the spaces City's fullbacks leave behind. Even a single fast break could change the entire momentum of the match. Key battles will define everything. Midfield pressure when City try to build. The wings where Sunderland must deal with overlapping runs. And the penalty box where Holland will constantly test the defense's concentration. If Sunderland can survive those high-pressure moments and hit back with speed, the match becomes less about tactics on paper and more about who can execute their plan in the heat of the moment. In a match like this, it's often the big names who shape the narrative, and Manchester City have no shortage of them. Erling Haaland remains the most obvious threat, a striker who Docent need 10 chances to punish you. His movement alone forces defenders into mistakes, and when City dominate possession the way they do, it's only a matter of time before he finds that yard of space he needs. Behind him, Kevin De Bruyne operates like a conductor. His passing, his vision, and his ability to read the game seconds ahead of everyone else makes him arguably the most influential player on the pitch. Then there's Foden or Bernardo Silva, players who glide through tight spaces, link the midfield to the attack, and turn routine plays into moments of brilliance. Sunderland's key players operate in a different environment, but their importance is just as crucial. Their attacking threats, whether a pacey forward or an intelligent winger, will be vital on the counter. These players don't need many touches. They need timing, speed, and bravery to attack City's defensive gaps. The midfielder tasked with breaking up City's rhythm will be one of the most important figures for Sunderland, because if they can disrupt the flow even slightly, Sunderland will have chances to transition quickly. And of course, the goalkeeper becomes a central character. Against a team like City, he will face relentless pressure, shots from all angles, and moments where composure must replace panic. These players aren't just filling roles, they are redefining the possible story of the match. One brilliant save, one defensive error, one counterattack led by a fearless forward. Any of these moments can swing the match in unexpected directions. To truly understand why this fixture remains compelling, you have to look back at the history between the two clubs. On paper, Manchester City should dominate almost every meeting, and in recent years, that has largely been the case. Sunderland have produced some unexpected, unforgettable moments against City that still live in the memories of fans. Matches where Sunderland were the underdogs written off before kickoff, yet somehow walked away with shock victories. One-goal wins, last-minute heroics, and gritty defensive performances have all contributed to a rivalry defined not by equality, but by unpredictability. These fixtures remind us that football's greatest power is its ability to surprise. It doesn't matter how strong City appear or how mismatched the teams look statistically once the whistle blows. Momentum becomes emotional, tactical plans are tested, and pressure can flip the script instantly. Sunderland have always shown that they are capable of frustrating City, especially when they defend with unity and counter with purpose. And even though modern City are an entirely different beast from the teams of the past, the echoes of those unpredictable clashes create a psychological edge, not for Sunderland, but for the narrative itself. It's also worth noting how these historical moments influence fans. City supporters expect dominance. Sunderland fans hope for magic. And somewhere in between lies the truth. This fixture has produced enough drama in the past to make even the biggest favorite take nothing for granted. That's what makes this match more than a routine fixture. It's a reminder that no matter how football evolves, the shock factor never disappears. As the match approaches, the stakes for both sides become clearer. For Manchester City, every league game is part of a larger mission, staying ahead in the title race. It's keeping their momentum alive, and proving once again why they are considered one of the best sides in Europe. Dropping points isn't just a setback. It invites pressure, doubt, and headlines they would prefer to avoid. Pep Guardiola will demand intensity, discipline, complete focus from his players, because in matches like this, complacency is the only real danger. For Sunderland, the stakes feel different, yet no less meaningful. They're not expected to dominate. They're not expected to hold possession. They're not even expected to win. And that's exactly what makes them dangerous. Every counterattack they launch, every defensive stand they make, and every minute they survive will strengthen their belief that an upset is possible. A result here, even a draw, would send a message about their growth, their mentality. think their ability to compete beyond their division. Ultimately, this match becomes a clash between two very different motivations. City fight to maintain their position at the top. Sunderland fight to prove they belong on stages like this. And as history has shown, motivation can level the playing field in unexpected ways. The question isn't just who will win, it's how the story will unfold. Will City assert their dominance from the start, or will Sunderland drag them into a battle they didn't anticipate?